Hey everybody, it's Wednesday. I'm Lawrence Presman, excited to be doing this show. Will be my last time hosting Stoppage Time. We'll talk about that in a sec. Nick Borrman joining us from sportsmemo.com. And of course, one of my best friends in the whole world, Chef Carmine Bianco, who made me dinner tonight, which we'll discuss as well. Nick, how are you, my friend? Any news? Anything really interesting?
With me, no. I did get out and play golf this past weekend. It was beautiful weather, so that was good news and it's something exciting to go for. And otherwise, all's good and quiet, and no news is good news, I suppose.
Nick, what did you shoot?
I shot 77. I had 2 double bogeys. It was terrible.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody watching and listening to the show, they're all very upset with a 77. For me, I would quit golf.
Well, I hit the ball well. I was happy with it. I just had a couple bad holes.
So
no big deal.
Nick, I love hitting the ball in golf, and especially when you get that beautiful trajectory and the sound of the club hitting the ball. With that in mind, why wouldn't you want to hear that sound and watch that ball more often than not?
I make that same joke to people all the time when they tell me, a score they're not happy with, shoot 90, 100, whatever. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You just got your money's worth. Why? The game doesn't make sense. Why am I paying $100 to go play around of golf and take as few of shots as possible? So I agree, Prez.
Yeah, that's I shoot around a 98 to a 104. I do cheat. I believe trees have no place on a golf course, nor does sand. Hey guys, thanks for joining us on Stoppage Time. Laguina, nice to see you. Same with you, Liam. Hope everybody is well. Carmine Bianco, good sir, you made me a lasagna, which I'll be eating tonight. Anything else going on in your world?
No, I popped off a couple of them, and I know you like it, so I figured you'd zip by and pick one up. Other than that, everything is good. Just trying to survive this COVID, staying indoors. I woke up to 2 great pieces of news this morning. One was obviously, which I knew is returning on May the 15th, so next weekend. And the other one was that my LCBO order was ready for pickup. For Nick, in case you don't know, LCBO is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario.
Nice.
So, so I zipped out this morning and picked up my order, and there's people lined up, and I didn't have to line up. I just flashed my phone, and as I was picking up my order.
You didn't use your Wagertalk ID to skip the line?
No, and it's great because if you have an online order to pick up, you get priority to the front of the line. So literally, as you're walking in, you can see the people in line are getting angry, and you just want to yell out like "online order, bitches!" But I didn't. I just went in, grabbed my order, and went on my way. So,
hey Pablo, hey Mr. Bass, thanks so much for joining the show. And boys, we're going to talk a bunch of soccer, as always. It is what we do on Stoppage Time. Just to let everybody know, moving forward, starting on Friday, and we will be keeping the show, as for now, Wednesdays and Fridays, but once soccer is in full swing, we'll hope to move it to a daily show. Carmine Bianco will be hosting, taking over the hosting duties from here on in, and Nick Borrman will be on, as well as Kevin Dolan. And Carm, I don't know if Pavlos is going to be on, but it's going to be your show. So I hope you're excited, my friend. I know you'll do a great job.
I am. I know your football, your soccer. I'll call it football, but it's soccer, or either one. But I know you know it, and I appreciate you stepping aside from your busy schedule and allowing me to step into that hosting role. And with Nick and Kevin Dolan and Pavlos coming in, and we mixing it up. It should be a really fun show. I really appreciate it.
Well, listen, it was an easy decision to step aside. Nick, I don't know if you know this, but I think on a whole, Carmine might be the most loved handicapper by the general public on Sports Memo and Wagertalk. And he works so hard. It's certainly time for him to have his own show, and I'm excited to watch it. Hey, Joel Paul, welcome to the show. Chip, what's going on, my friend? Why am I just now knowing this show exists? Well, Chip, that is a question you need to ask yourself, I guess. I did ring your doorbell about a month ago and left a note on your car under your windshield wiper about the show. Don't know why you didn't get it. My apologies, sir, but you found us now. So thank you for joining us. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat, and I will discuss them. Boys, I've been telling everybody, a friend of mine bought me the Oculus headset. It's a virtual reality headset. I got the top of the line one. It's Quest. I think it's the Quest. There's a game on there called Drop Dead. It's where you kill zombies. I've never been a gamer in my life. I went through the Pac-Man, Space Invader, Atari, Nintendo, PlayStation, in television. I went through them all. I had no interest in any single one of them. I would much rather play or watch sports than be a gamer, and now I am addicted to a level that I can't control. I kill zombies all day and night. Rick Alec, the CEO of Wagertalk, actually gave me a project, asked me to take a look at the new Wagertalk website last night, which we'll be releasing very shortly. I texted him at 1 a.m. saying, hey, do I really need to do it tonight? To be honest with you, I got caught up killing zombies. This is game-changing, disruptive technology at its absolute finest.
You know, Prez, I'm going to jump in there just before we switch topics on this. But I was watching the show with you and our CEO, Rick Alec, and my wife overheard you talking about the Oculus and the zombie killing, and she's like, oh my God, we got to get that, because she loves the idea of zombie killing. She plays a game on her iPhone with, I guess, killing zombies or whatever. So I may have to borrow that.
Carm, I will drop it by next week for a night. No problem at all.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, boys. Nick, you got a really, really nice comment from David Chan. David, nice to see you, my friend. He writes, he wants to acknowledge how great your write-ups are, how detailed they are on your picks. So that's really excellent news. And, you know, obviously you put a lot of work into this, my friend. So let's go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, thanks, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just want to, you know, at least let you guys understand why I'm making the pick I'm picking, you know, and leave it up to you as you ultimately decide to follow suit or do something different with the game. But at least, you know, information is power. I'm just trying to I have and the decisions I make. So I appreciate the thanks and the shout out.
Okay, brother, let's start with free picks. Then we're going to talk about Nicaraguan Soccer League, talk a little South Korea, and do a world update. So, Nick, what do you got for us as far as a free pick on the soccer card over the next few days?
I have a pick again this week in Belarus. This game goes on Sunday. Right now it's Belshina at Islak Minsk, and Islak Minsk is the pick in this game. They're around minus 140 or so on the three-way line. I have the pick up as minus 3/4 of a goal right now. I think they'll win at home. Quick look at the standings. Islak Minsk is in the exact same position they finished last year, which is 5th in the table. And you got to go all the way to the bottom of the table to find Belshina, where they're dead last with an 0-2-5 record and 5-13 goal differential. They were promoted from the lower league, Prashaya League, last year, and they just clearly do not look like a team that's going to be able to hang and compete at this level, probably likely just to be relegated right back down again. Islak last year were line with a +6 goal differential, and this year they're 4-3. They have a -2 differential so far, but they just lost their last game 0-4 against Shakhtar, which, you know, obviously changed that goal differential for them. So that one game I'm not putting too much into. But at home, they've been very good. They've actually played 5 of their 7 matches so far at home, and they're 4-1 there, and they've beaten up on all the teams lower than them in the standings, which obviously Belshina is. So I think this just looks like another easy home win. Like I said, Belshina is a weak side this year. They just do not look like they're able to hang offensively. Belshina is averaging over a full goal less on, over a full shot on goal less than the league average, which one shot on goal doesn't sound like a lot, but it's 20%. So when you talk of it in that term, it's a lot less attempts than the rest of the league is getting. So I like Islak Minsk right now. I think the price is fair. minus 3/4 of a goal. You could go minus 140 on the three-way line. I'm expecting that to get up to maybe minus 150, minus 160 by game time. So grab it now. This one's Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. So wake up to a winner or get up early and watch one.
Nick, this is my last time hosting the show. Carmine's taking over on Friday, so just one last time, I want you to, I know you're not a soccer expert like I am, but it is 4-0. 4-0. There is no 0 in soccer, Nick.
You're right.
Why is that, by the way?
Why do they say nil?
Yeah. Well, I love in tennis. I mean...
It's true. It's a good question. I don't have the answer for you. I prepped the last couple of days on what was the question you were going to ask me this show, because the last couple has been something off the wall. At least this one's soccer related, and I still don't have the answer for you.
That's okay, dude. David Chan likes your write-ups. Carmine Bianco, do you have a free pick for us?
I do. It's and it will be up on the Wagertalk site with some analysis on why I like this play. But I've been looking over the last few days. South Korea's K-League 1 starts this weekend, and looking over the games. There's only 6 games, but 2 of them really kind of stand out. So I'll have plays. I decide to make a free play. It'll also be up on my card. It's Ulsan Hyundai FC. They are at home. You're going to have to lay 3/4 of a goal. So that's basically a half -1, laying just under 120 VIG on that one. In sort of looking over the last few years, this is a team that has gradually each and every year gotten better. Last year, they finished on level terms, but with 79 points with the league winners, Yeongbuk Motors, who have won the league the last 6 years, I think, since 2014, and even going back to 2010, have been a top 3 team in that league. So this is a team that who could actually win the championship this year, and you're getting plus 250 on them in the outrights to win the league. So in spreading some money around and playing, I usually like to play these outrights to win the league. I took them to win the league. They're second in betting behind Yeongbuk Motors at plus 120, so plus 250. But for Sunday, that's a 1 a.m. In the morning game. So you want to essentially put this one in on Friday, and then either wake up on Saturday morning with the winner, or as Nick said, looking at other action. But that, like I said, goes at 1 a.m. You've got to lay if you want to lay just the money line, you're laying 167. I'm not ever comfortable laying a number that big, so I'll lay the split line of -0.5, -1, lay minimal juice, and hopefully start the morning with a winner. He's Carmine Bianco from Wagertalk.com, Nick Borrman from SportsMember.com, and I'm the Prez. You're watching Stoppage Time. It'll be hosted from Friday onwards by Carmine Bianco. Liam, nil is a contraction of the Latin nihil, meaning nothing. Thanks, Liam. That's actually good stuff. We didn't know that. At least I didn't know that. Nick didn't know that. And Carm didn't say a word. So I'm assuming he didn't know that. So Liam, what's duck in cricket? Where did that one come from? I will await your response. Carm, Nicaraguan Soccer League. 1-1 tie. Estelí versus Managua. What did that teach us for the second leg? And talk to us in general about what is going on. And what we can bet on in Nicaragua and how to win. Yeah, it's it's one of those games. Nick and I talked about this the other day. Because I was waiting for the line to come out. I usually like to, on the leg 2 line, for especially this league where the lines are volatile, jump on it as quick as possible, because you're going to get the best number if you're on the side where the expected line move is. As far as this goes, that 1-1 game, I had Managua plus half a goal. Nice. Which I gave to the clients. That was a winner. I gave out on the show under 2.5. I told people to take it before it went to 2.5. I knew it was going to drop, and I think at game time it was 2.5. So anyone who jumped on it at 2.5 was a winner at 1-1. I also thought Managua would win the game, and I gave them out at plus 395. And if not for a little mishap at the end, they probably should have won. It's an interesting thing. If you weren't watching the game, you might not want to hear us. If you were watching the game, it's also a bad memory. But the ball was crossed over the goalie from the left side to the right side, and there are two Managua players standing there about 2 feet or 3 feet from in front of an open, gaping net, and one of them heads the ball and hits his own player, and it ricochets out of bounds. If the guy's not there, it goes straight into the net, and essentially the game's over, 2-1 final. We cash a big $3.95 ticket. The takeaways watching that game, I thought it was pretty one-sided. Managua's now in the driver's seat because of the way goals rule. So if this game finishes 0-0, Managua wins the championship. I don't think it's going to finish 0-0. I think we're going to see some scoring here. The total right now is probably, I think it's at 2.5. And I would lean to taking the over here in this game because Estelí have to score. They either need to win or get it to at least 1-1 to get it into extra time and penalty kicks and so on. So when you're sometimes when you're in that position where you've got to push forward, it opens up, especially against a team that has some talent and can score goals like Managua has proven this year, especially at home. So my free play and the play that I will probably have up on the Wagertalk site is the over to 2.25, which is the Asian version of 2.5.
Nick, talk to us about what's going on in your mind in regards to the Nicaraguan Soccer League. Not many games left to go. Obviously, just one.
Yep, and somewhat disappointing here that the season will be to an end, as I think Carmen and I both have had pretty good runs through the league. So, but watching that first game, Carm's right. Managua was the better team, at least in terms of chances. They had more, I thought, throughout that whole game, and probably, as he said, deserved to win that game there at the end. Of course, I was on the under as well, so I was happy that goal did not go in. But going back home, Managua, to me, is the side to play. They've just been really, really, really strong this year at home. I think they have 17 games unbeaten right now at home, which dates back to last season. And overall, they have 15 games unbeaten, either home. They're just a tough team to beat. They've been playing very, very good defense, and at home offensively is where they've been scoring a lot of their goals. So I agree with Carm here. I think, as he mentioned, going into leg 2 at 1-1, they are actually leading because of the away goal rule. So a 0-0 result lets them win. So that means Estelí is going to be pressing. That means they're going to take chances because they have to. And in doing so, that just opens up the counterattack. And Managua has some really good strikers up front that can score. And I think being at home, that's exactly what we're going to see. I mean, Managua, they opened up around plus 125 or so on the three-way line. They're at minus 110 right now, so you can see where the money is going, and I agree with it. They're too tough to beat at home. Estelí, actually, if you look at the results of the last few years, has really been the team to beat. They've won the last 4 championships there. And they this year are still playing well. They're still a good team. I just think Managua has been a little bit better all year long, and at home they just look like they're going to be tough to beat. Estelí, actually, in their last 9 games, they only have 1 loss, but they also only have 3 wins. They've settled for 5 draws during that run. They're just not quite getting the ball in the net, but still playing decent defensively. But I don't think that's going to be the case here because they have to press forward. They're going to lose a little bit of their form on the backside. Defensively, they won't be able to be the same team that they have been. So I like Managua. I like the over. Carmen and I were both on the same sides on the first leg. We hit both, and hopefully that happens again here because it sounds like we're in the exact same agreement in this card. I looked at the total just now, Carmen. You can still get 2. It's up at minus 127 on Pinnacle, minus 130 bookmaker. So I would say it's probably worth laying that number right now just in case to protect yourself on 2 goals. But I really think this thing could end 3-1 or something more like that. I think this will go over pretty easily. So
yeah, that next tick, Nick, as you know, after like that 125, 130, that next tick is like that quarter goal where it goes to 2.5.
Yep.
Minus 105 or even money, and then we see where it goes from there. So yeah, a very good point on taking the 2-0 and laying a little bit of juice.
You guys are watching Stoppage Time. Just take care of some business, then we'll get into the South Korean Soccer League. One day, hopefully, we'll call it the Korean Soccer League. Guys, Monday was Meet the Experts. I had Rick Alec on. Carm, I know you were around to watch that show. I thought it went really, really well. It was super informative. Rick was an incredible guest. We also talk about a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline with Wagertalk.com, Sports Memo, and the Gold Sheet. So, guys, make sure to check that show out. And this Monday... And Nick, I highly suggest, and I know you've been very busy, you don't log on a lot to listen to other people's shows and interact in the chat. I understand you're super busy golfing once. But this Monday, Teddy Covers will be interviewing me on Meet the Experts. And I'm telling you guys, 3 p.m. Eastern, put it in your calendar. This is going to be a show for the ages. Teddy and I have a very special relationship. All we do is bother each other. And I think the show will be unbelievably fun. And I am considering bringing Carmine into that show for a guest couple of questions.
Yeah, and I have got some doozies. So if my good friend Teddy is good with sharing the spotlight on grilling you, it's almost like the roast of the Prez.
Yeah.
It would be great.
Let's go. Make sure to put that in your calendar, everybody. 3 p.m. Eastern next Monday. Meet the Experts. Teddy Covers will be interviewing me. Carmen, Nick, I got to tell you a quick story. David Tabati just logged in. Hey, brother, how are you? Manishma. So I tell Marco, because David logging in, his name reminded me. So I tell Marco last Friday on Pony Pundits. Check that out, everybody. Every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Marco and Sig talk horse racing. So I tell Marco I've been watching Fauda and it's really, really good, blah, 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 blah. He never heard of it. He never seen it. I got a text from Marco yesterday. Sorry, Prez, I disappeared for the last 4 days. I have finally finished all 30 episodes. No, it was more. It was 36 episodes. The guy watched 36 episodes of Fauda in 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. I watched the end of... I finished off season 3. I've been following on. Prez put me on this show, and I watch it. And yes, it's subtitled, but there is
I watched the dub
in it, and it's very good. It is very good. And as some of our friends, mutual friends, have said, it is true to what actually goes on there. So it's,
to a degree,
it's definitely a series.
It's certainly dramatized. But it does give you an understanding of the life of both sides of that fence. And what's most interesting about Fauda is that it's an Israeli-produced show, so obviously the Israelis win, so to speak. But it really does show the Palestinian cause in a very humanitarian way, where you truly do understand what they are going through. So hats off to the producers and writers for that. It's just an absolutely sensational show. Boys, South Korean soccer. So we had a guy, Paul Padia. He asks if you can spell the Korean soccer team's names, please. And if you could use the Korean alphabet while spelling it, that would also be impressive.
Yeah. No, I think what he meant is, because I gave out a free play, I think he wanted to know if we could just spell out the name of the team, just in case they weren't understanding how I was saying it, because I had said Ulsan Hyundai, and that's like Hyundai, the car manufacturer, obviously. So I put it in the chat, and I think he thanked me for it.
I know, I saw. I saw. Okay.
And to make it short, there's only 12 teams, or is there 12 or 14 teams in this league? But it's week one of the season. And like I said, I'll have write-ups with my plays just so you understand where I'm coming from with this. But it's not like the China's Super League, where they just have a ton of money and they throw it at international players,
Yeah.
and they pull them away from leagues like the EPL. And I understand they have just a ton of Brazilians in China playing. They love them there, and they overpay them to play. I remember they took an Italian player who was thrown off our World Cup team.
He didn't dive enough
to play there. No, he didn't dive enough.
And who's your World Cup team? Excuse me, I don't recall Canada being in the World Cup since the 80s. Yeah. So what team are you referring to that's yours?
Italian.
You're Italian, Carm? Where were you born?
I was born in Guglielmese, Italy.
I don't believe you. You were born in Mississauga.
But anyways,
were you really born in Italy?
The Italian player was thrown off the team because he was substituted in the middle of a game and walked by the manager and didn't acknowledge him. And
what?
If you see, when players come off in every league and for every nation, they walk by the manager and they usually it's kind of like a little handshake or
what the hell?
He walked by, he dissed the manager and was.
Oh my God, dude! Could you imagine these managers managing NFL football teams? Oh my God!
It's a thing of honor and pride.
I think what we need to do is get Antonio Brown on the Italian national soccer team for a few days and see how that manager deals with that. So, Nick, the South Korean Soccer League, what should our listeners expect and your customers from you? Do you know this league well? Will you be betting it, et cetera, et cetera?
As a replacement for Nicaragua, I'll be honest, as Carm and I both were with Nicaragua, with Belarus, with all the leagues right now that we're looking at them right now because we don't have the Big Five and we don't have the MLS and we don't have the leagues that, the rest of us know. So I'll be looking at it. I'll be playing it. I will certainly take my time with it and be careful the first few weeks. So don't expect a lot of volume. But if I do see an opportunity here or there, I'll just certainly have something out. Probably keep it lower rated. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm just learning a lot of the teams and the names of the players as much as anybody here listening. So again, it's just see what we can find, dig into the numbers. Again, everything you can find on statistics. Statistics are just that. They're numbers that tell a bigger picture. So maybe it's a good thing I don't know these teams' names and these players. I'm not blindsided by
emotion,
prejudice to one side versus the other. So we'll see how it goes. But I'll certainly be in there, and I'll be going a little bit slower though at first.
Yeah, Prez, if I can just add to what Nick said, and because he makes a very good point, we want the customers at Sports Memo and at Wagertalk to understand is we're not just literally looking, hey, what is playing tomorrow, and let's put out a selection. If there is no value there, we're not going to play it. We're looking at these and we're looking at data the same as we would. We're spending the same amount of time looking at games, and if it's not there, it's not there. We just pass on the day or pass on the week. We know that soccer is returning. We're going to get to that in a minute, but kudos to Nick. I pass for the most part. I think I've only released 2 games, and I've gone like 1-1 in Belarus. Nick has a much better understanding of it, and anyone who asks me about a play, I'm like, head over to Sports Memo and see what Nick has. Nick's more in tune with that, so it's how it is. So we're not just putting out plays to generate sales. If we honestly don't like a game and we're not going to bet on it, we're not going to put it out. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and it's an interesting point, Carm, because we as a company make our revenue from selling picks, and we've had people ask, why aren't the guys looking at Congolese highlight or Djubi's badminton. I just really wanted to get what, Nick?
Ping pong is the hot one right now. I see everybody on Twitter.
Yeah, guys, we don't just sell shit. Like, we have not been able to find a Sudanese soccer expert. So as a result, we don't release plays on it. if we're releasing a play, we're betting a play. And we're not going to be just wasting our money. So that's a great point. Dave Tabati wanted to know when the NFL schedule is being released. I think it'll be in a couple of weeks. T. Cole says, Carm sounds like he is on AM radio compared to you. Listen.
I don't know what to tell you. I did work for the FAN590, which was an AM.
No, it's probably based on your sound and whatnot, Carmen. Look,
yes,
it's hard, man. I mean, everybody's at home right now on their Wi-Fi. And sometimes the sound is going to be better. It's going to be worse. It's just the way it is. But T. Cole, get ready. Carm's going to be hosting from here on in. And I mean, one of our nicknames for Carm is Mr. Big Personality, right? Carm, don't we call you that?
Whatever, man. I'm looking forward to it. I will get the sound.
Yeah, you'll get it all right, bro. It took me like 4 months, man. I was hellish.
Yeah, you were, man. But you brought in guy after guy in to check what was going on and why there was the legs, and you spent a load of money. I'll use that word. And you got it right. Yeah,
well, now I'll be able to work with you. We're starting today at 2 o'clock in half an hour. Guys, let's talk about an update on the World Soccer stage. Dave Tabati, I've mentioned him 3 times, talks about the fact that the Israeli Premier Soccer League's coming back May 30th. They just announced that. So with that in mind, Carm, I go to you for a quick roundup on what's going on all over the world.
All right. I posted this on Twitter as well, too. So if you're not following me, follow me there at Carmine Bianco WT. Germany, first one, returns May 15th. Games May 15th and through the weekend. Turkey, the Super League in Turkey.
I love turkey. I'm actually having a turkey sandwich like in 10 minutes.
Yeah, great.
No, I'm not joking. I eat turkey almost every day for lunch.
Great. That lasagna that I made, the meat inside it is turkey.
Oh my God, I'm double turkeying today?
Yes, there you go. Next, continuing on. Their league is called 1HNL. June 6th, they return to play, but on May, they'll also have games which are their cup games. Italy, June 12th, but this is pending restart the training on May the 18th, but the training camps, Juventus was training this morning, all individual training, but they are back on the field. Spain, June 12th as well, pending a May 9th restart the training and all player and results from the COVID-19 testing, which took place this week. And then finally, the one you guys are all waiting for, the EPL. They're aiming for a June 12th restart, but on Monday, all 20 teams will vote on a restart. They're voting on playing games at 10 neutral sites. 14 of 20 teams need to vote yes in order for the season to continue. Currently, there is speculation that are complaining about neutral sites, saying it affects the integrity of the league. I think what they're really looking at is if the season was canceled, there would be no relegation, and the bottom 6 were fighting to stay out of being relegated would be so. But the top 14 teams, it's looking at they are all good on moving forward. So that vote will go through, I believe, and they'll restart their season on the 12th.
I want to talk about relegation in a second. Nick, do you have anything to add on our global soccer update?
I looked at Carm. As he mentioned, you got to follow him on Twitter. I get my information. I don't even bother to look. He reports it faster than I can find it. I just go right to his Twitter feed and get the updates right there. So no, I'm.
Jesus, Nick, you are a team player.
Nick's awesome.
Wow, man, Nick, you know who the new host is going to be. You know he has other guys he can put on the show. That's impressive stuff, Nick. Did you practice?
I got to keep my spot.
Prez, like I know you're not a horse racing guy, but Marco is. An owner has two very good horses. He puts them in a race, and they run under the 1 and 1A category. That whichever one wins, you cash a ticket. So I consider Nick and I 1 and 1A.
Okay. And no, I'm not a horse racing guy. I much prefer gerbil racing. If you're going to pick a random animal to race, I'm going with gerbils. Look, I'm not going to be talking on the soccer show much longer. Maybe another 5 minutes for the rest of my life. But I do want to say this. We all watch baseball. We're all baseball fans. We bet on baseball. Carm, I have always said that baseball has an issue. It's the most lopsided kind of sport. There's so many teams that enter the season with literally no chance for the next decade. Not only for the next season, but for the next decade. It's the same teams almost all the time. I have pushed relegation in baseball. I think it is the way to fix the attendance issues. I think it's a way to fix the lopsided aspect of the game. I think Major League Baseball should do relegation. What do you think, Carm?
I think that would be awfully tough. A lot of these... It'd
be so dramatic, teams, though, man.
No, I understand.
You'd have teams that are in last place and or on the cusp of relegation. All of a sudden, their fans are watching. Every game means something. I mean, for half the teams in the league, there's 60 games to go, and they're meaningless.
Yeah, it's the ego of the owners, the egos of the players that would never allow this to happen. And the most important part is the owners wouldn't go for it. For the teams that suck, for lack of a better word, because of the TV money.
Yeah, I know. Just something I've been pushing. I also have another way to fix the slowness of baseball, and that is to use the cricket in 5-day test matches. They have something where you declare. So I always thought it would be cool in baseball where the game ends at the 3-hour mark no matter what. And if it makes it to the 3-hour mark, it's a tie. No matter what the score is, it's a tie. So if you go up 12-0 in the first inning, you can pass on hitting in order to get the game to end. Is that not a cool idea?
Where was that? I remember it. There used to be a rule in, I don't know whether it was high school baseball or whatever, where you could just give up your turn up at bat or whatever, right? So they now have the instant walk, right? Where you can say, we're just going to walk the guy. Can you just imagine if the manager of a team just looked up from the dugout and says,
yeah,
we're giving up 3 outs.
I think it would be the coolest thing, and I think there would be so much strategy added to the game because you don't get those bats back. And, you could be up 5-3. There's only 15 minutes till the 3-hour mark or the whatever you decide, and you just don't send your batters up anymore. I think it's a genius idea, but nobody has called and asked the Prez how to fix baseball, Nick.
I think it would possibly lead to some brawls. I look at it as a big F you to the other team. Get up 6, 7, 8, and just say, nah, we're good. You guys bet as much as you need to. You ain't catching us. I think it would be some
There's no balls coming out of it, man. Come on.
The Little League doesn't the Little League World Series still have the 10-run mercy rule where the game is over?
Yep.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
Liam wants to know, why is it called the World Series when it's only teams from North America? Liam, I'm not answering that question. David Chan thinks I play with gerbils. Okay, no, Chip thinks I play. David corrected his spelling. Anyway, boys, it was a real pleasure doing this show with you guys. Carm, do you have anything you want to say before I wrap it up?
No, I'm excited. Well, yeah, I guess I do have something to say. I'm excited about the fact that soccer will continue to follow some of these leagues, but I believe to the point is when all the European soccer leagues return, we'll probably shelve some of these other leagues because our focus needs to go to those top 5 leagues. Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga, EPL, and then in August, obviously Champions League, and then we start this this fun thing all over again. So I'm going to put my brain together with Nick today or tomorrow, and we are going to on Friday with the leagues returning. I am going to come out with a kick-ass special at Sports Memo for Nick and one at Wagertalk for myself to thank everyone who's followed along up until now, and we'll figure something out.
Outstanding. Nick, anything you want to add?
Prez, thank you for your service, my friend. You've done a great job as host of the show. We will miss you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, dude. Carm's ready to go. David Chan comments, looking forward to you and Teddy yelling at each other. Guys, do not miss that show. Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Put it in your calendar. Teddy covers and maybe a guest appearance from Carmine Bianco. Interview me. It's going to be a free-fall. It's going to be entertaining, interesting, fun, and probably slightly volatile. 3 p.m. Eastern today, Minty and VR, and they're going to do a heavy conversation on UFC 249, in which I actually have some bets in play. I'm taking the G-Man to beat Tony Ferguson by knockout plus 200. There's a free pick from myself. Carm, Nick, best wishes, and I will be watching on Friday. Carm, Prez just caught the end of the show. Great work, even if can't wait for Ted. Thanks, Connor, much appreciated. I don't know what Pooh is saying. He just randomly put the word oats down. Okay, granola. Carm, Nick, thank you, boys. Guys, check out Ace, Gianni the Greek, and he just keeps putting the word oats down. And now pie. Gianni the Greek and Minty at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's in an hour and 15 minutes from now. Be well, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Stay indoors regardless of what the governors or whoever suggest. Let's nip this thing in the bud and get back to our lives.